Morning people, welcome back to F Politics. You know the hundreds of people who've been roaming the streets of Ballymena in Northern Ireland for the past few days, attacking the homes of minority people with bricks and fire, as well as attacking police officers, supposedly as a protest in reaction to the two 14-year-old Romanian boys who appear to have raped a teenage girl. Lots of people are calling these attacks racist, including senior officers at the Police Service of Northern Ireland.
This violence was clearly racially motivated and targeted at our minority ethnic community and the police. It was racist thuggery, pure and simply.
But I think that calling these attacks racist doesn't hit this issue where it needs to be hit, because I think the message that needs to be put across is that they're undermining their own cause. Because if you grab headlines by starting a riot, supposedly in the name of protecting women and girls, but you make it so easy to prove that your actions are largely driven by racism, then you undermine the fight for the protection of women and girls. Because last year, Neil Beckett, a white Northern Irish school welfare officer, was found guilty of sexual abuse and inappropriate contact with 9 girls who were in his care. Were there riots then? No. He was sentenced to 3 years, and that got challenged as being too lenient, and only a few weeks ago, that challenge failed. Were there riots then? No. And Neil Beckett is a 44-year-old man, so full criminal responsibility, whereas the boys who are currently at the center of the terrorism happening in Ballymena right now, they are 14. In both cases, the males involved, absolutely horrendous people, but if I was going to choose who I was going to start a riot against between two 14-year-old boys who are charged with rape or a 44-year-old man who the council put in charge of children's safety sexually abusing 9 girls, I know which one I'd choose. And we saw it with the Southport rioters. Those same people who rioted after the Southport attack, they stayed incredibly quiet when Daniel Angerin, the 14-year-old boy, was killed by a white man with a sword. And that racial bias spreads to the media because that child killer was in court this week and the media is describing him basically as a swordsman, like a comic book character. Dear God, he cut up a child. And that child is no longer with us. So just like with Southport, and as we're seeing right now in Ballymena, a certain section of British politics is screaming loudly and with their whole chest that if you're going to hurt white kids, you better be white and British too. And that can only weaken the fight for the safety of women and girls, because it means the people that are often shouting the loudest in the media about the safety of women and girls have the tarnish of being racist. It also takes the spotlight off the vast majority of perpetrators who, in a white British country, are going to be mainly white and British. But it goes beyond that, because it actually makes it more likely that an individual man will commit a vile act. Because I know that for me personally, my behavior towards women has improved over the years the more that I've been aware that women, for their own survival, have to operate on the assumption that any man they see might be a potential threat. And so my behavior has been sculpted by the recognition that I am perceived as a potential threat. So the kinds of people and politicians who constantly put out the message that the real threat to women is ethnic minorities and foreigners, they are sending the message to white British men that they don't need to worry about how they're behaving because they're not the real problem. So at every level, the people that are rioting in Ballymena, attacking the homes of people from ethnic minorities, they aren't just racist, they're nonce enablers. I'm Femi, make sure you follow F Politics so politics doesn't F you. Have a great week.